Let's be real. This year's Serbia should be aiming to win the European Basketball Championship. Having Nikola Jokic automatically makes you a contender. Add to that the system built around him, plus the depth coming off the bench, and the recipe for victory is right there. But is it really that simple? Unfortunately, setbacks happen. Still, the question remains, are they true candidates for the gold medal? For me, the answer is definitely yes. In fact, being outside of the spotlight and not labeled as heavy favorites might even help them. We all know what usually happens when Serbia goes into a tournament as the top favorite.
The championship, you see the heartbreak for Serbia.
21 of 37. I mean, we'll just let you look at the stats.
This time, that underdog mentality could be the extra motivation they need. But for it all to come together, the Serbian backcourt has to deliver. Whether that happens or not is debatable, but certainly achievable. After their outstanding performances at both the Olympics and the World Cup, you can't help but feel that Serbia is arriving at exactly the right time, in the right moment to finally take the gold. Now let's take a closer look at what makes them legitimate contenders. No surprises here, the Serbian offense will be built around Nikola Jokic, even more than at last year's Olympics. Svetislav Pesic leans heavily on the zip cut action to put the ball in Jokic's hands, where he can go to work with his signature move, the Sombor shuffle. Naturally, teams will double him, but that's where his basketball IQ shines. He'll find the open man with ease, and that's when guys like Vanja Marinkovic, Dobric, Mikic, or Guduric can punish defenses. Pesic loves to run those zip cuts early in possessions, so don't be surprised to see them often in Serbia's playbook. Since this roster is very similar to the one that won bronze at the Paris Olympics, chemistry won't take long to build. They already know each other well, and that all for one for all mentality is still there. Pesic's tactics are simple. Everything runs through the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. There won't be a heavy dose of pick and roll or pick and pop. Instead, you'll see a ton of off-ball movement, very reminiscent of the Denver Nuggets system. It's practically a copy-paste game plan. The real question is, can Serbia actually win it all? Yes, but with one key condition: the Serbian guards and wings must step up. Someone has to take responsibility the way Bogdanovic did before. This means Mikic, Vanja, Guduric, or Petrusev need to rise to the occasion. Now, Mikic in his current form doesn't inspire the highest confidence, but you can't write him off, because we all know what he's capable of.
Here we go. At less than 6, Mikic keeps the ball in his hands. Clock is running out. Mikic rises. If it goes, he'll win it! Vasilija Mikic with the troika in Belgrade to win the semifinal here.
Guduric, if he finds the same rhythm he had in the EuroLeague Final Four, could change the entire story. Vanja, too, needs to rediscover his shooting touch. This isn't about blaming anyone, it's just the reality. These guys need to wake up and support Jokic. He'll deliver more than enough on his end, but basketball is a team game, not an individual one. Finally, the biggest concern for me isn't player form or tactics, it's team chemistry. I'm not entirely sure if the same spirit they had at the Olympics carried over into this tournament. And that's the one thing that makes me hesitant. Serbia should absolutely reach the final. Anything less would be a failure in my eyes. But whether they can actually win that final depends on whether the chemistry is truly there. So can Serbia win gold? Yes, if certain players step up. That's my short take. Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss. And since this scenario was written a couple of days ago, Serbia has already played against Turkey. That game exposed some of their weaknesses. Ergin Ataman, as always, tried to provoke and heat up the situation.
I like to say that, as you know, that my president Yiannakopoulos' most favorite player on the world, it's Jokic. You know about this many times. If he watched this game, I think maybe he changed his idea. Now he start to think about Schengen.
But Bogdan wasn't fazed. He responded with his own message. teasing a scary comeback if Serbia faces Turkey again in the final.